Cardinals. The Cardinals have had an eventful offseason so far, like many others. After moving on from Jonathan Gannon, Arizona hired former Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur as its next head coach. The team then decided to release former top overall pick Kyler Murray after 7 seasons in the desert. Murray has since signed with the Vikings. As for what's ahead, the Cardinals own that 3rd overall pick in next month's draft. We spent some time with LaFleur yesterday here on the show. All right, we are now joined by Mike LaFleur, and I was just told it's a family affair here right now. You got the entire, everybody's here, your brother's staying for a long time. Just paint the picture for us about what's going on for you here in Arizona now that you're trying to get settled in.
Yeah, that's true. We got the keys on Monday, the movers came Tuesday, and Matt and the family came on Friday. And most people are flying out tomorrow back to their respective homes, but
I'm thinking of the Griswolds. That's what I'm thinking of. It's like crazy cousin Eddie.
He's staying here till Sunday.
That's a long time.
And that was not passed over with my my wife yet. So we'll see. But it's all good. It's fun. All the cousins are there. There's 4 of them, and they're having a blast. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Now to the less important stuff.
No
Kyler Murray, you decide to move on from. What was the decision-making process there that said, okay, we're going to move in a different direction here?
I mean, like I was saying earlier today in my media, just I think it was just probably best for both parties at that time. I don't have a real relationship with Kyler in terms of I've never coached him, I've never been around him. I just have a lot of respect for him from afar, being in the division for 7 years, 5 of them with him when he finally got drafted in 19. So I wish him all the best, and it was the decision that we made, that we think is best for the Cardinals.
And we leave us with a quarterback room of Brissett, who they had last year, and now Gardner Minshew. You guys weren't necessarily going to break the bank on a Malik Willis or go another direction. Why'd you why'd you go from Minshew as your veteran quarterback to join Brissett?
I've known Gardner for a long time. I coached him at the Senior Bowl.
Is that right?
Back when he was going into 2019 out of Washington State. And there was a lot of cool dudes. Stidham was on that squad there as well. Will Greer, amongst obviously some of the other positions. And I'll never forget, he got a hold of me about 4 days before we were reporting to Mobile, and he wanted the playbook. And, I didn't know if this was going to be a 5-minute thing. I didn't know if I was going to give him a document or whatnot. We ended up FaceTiming for like 4 hours and went through everything, and that's just who he is, and that's why he's been able to have the career that he's had. He's got a lot of respect in this league, and we just thought, again, the experience that he's had, it made sense.
You have some incredible stars on this offense and really young guys, too. I mean, Trey McBride, the best tight end in the league. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. that I think you can still get a lot more out of, right? How excited are you to start scheming up for those guys?
Yeah, it's fun, and it's really been fun just getting to know these guys. I've been on record, and this is a true story. The day I came in, which was like 12 hours after the NFC Championship, right when I walked in the building, the first 3 players I saw at the front table were Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison, and Trey McBride. And I said, wow, if this isn't a good omen right there in terms of, 3 of the guys that are moving the ball forward consistently, being explosive playmakers, are the 3 in there eating breakfast, breaking bread together, and getting ready to go train.
And now you look to the draft, and it's this number 3 overall pick, and you assume Raiders go quarterback at 1, Jets likely go pass rusher at 2. But you guys at 3 might really hold the keys to where this draft breaks open. A couple positional needs, of course. What are you doing to prepare so that you guys make the right pick and you feel comfortable with who you selected?
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun because, again, we think we know what's going to happen at 1. You don't totally know what's going to happen at 2, but, you're hedging your bet that it's going to be somewhere in there. And then there you are sitting at 3 with a lot of good options, at a lot of different positions. So it'll be an ongoing discussion. The cool part is we're not on the clock right now.
Yeah.
We got a lot more time to still talk about this, but at the same time, not overthink it. Let's get a great football player. Whoever we end up picking is going to be a good football player, and it's going to be the right fit.
We were just looking at your credential photo. We saw the hair on display. It just made me think, who has better hair, you or
question.
Matt?
We know that.
Interesting.
I'm going to say you're voting for yourself. You have a vote here? You want to?
I think they're both very attractive.
Oh, that was a cop out. I'm going
to
go with your hair. I think it's better than Matt's. I would say that to him too.
I agree. He puts a lot more time into it.
Yeah, yours just,
and you can see that. Sometimes it's just let it go.
I like that. We appreciate your time here. Wish you the best of luck with everything upcoming, and thanks for spending some time with us here.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
The Browns have 3 quarterbacks on their roster. Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel win a combined 4-9 in their starts as rookies last season. Then Deshaun Watson, who missed all of last season as he rehabbed the Achilles injury he suffered in October of 2024. Watson has played in only 19 games since the Browns traded 3 first-round picks and gave him a fully guaranteed $230 million contract in March of 2022. Adam, the Browns spoke yesterday, their owner, about Deshaun Watson's availability this coming season. What more can you tell Deshaun out
Well,
there?
it sounds like there's a real possibility that Deshaun Watson, at the very least, is going to be competing for the starting job if he doesn't win the Browns starting quarterback job. We've seen quarterbacks bounce around this league only to resurface and have great success. And the Browns believe that could be the recipe for Deshaun Watson, who hasn't been heard from essentially for 2 years. Obviously, everybody knows the backstory. Everybody knows everything that's gone on there. And here's a career that got completely derailed, was upside down, and now he's trying to make it back. And we'll see whether or not he can, but he clearly is in the competition and in the running to become the Browns starting quarterback this season. Why are you looking like that, Laura?
It's just fascinating. Like, I think a lot of people thought there's no way. Like, he's not going to come back, or if he is, it would be in a different capacity. He applied to the
Geno Smith school. People wrote him off, and most people thought he wasn't going to write back.
I ain't right back, and then, I don't know, maybe he is. I'm trying to figure out the grammar there. But either way, you did spend some time today listening in on Todd Monken and what he had to say about the quarterback room. What more did you learn about that, Peter?
It's fascinating to hear Coach Monken speak. He's been waiting to be an NFL coach all these years. He finally becomes one, and this is the quarterback room he inherited. And, you know, Shedeur Sanders has been there in the building, which I thought was really interesting. Yeah. He said Shedeur Sanders has shown up every day. Now, they can't do actual football. They can't actually talk ball. They can't go out there on the field. But he can work out, and he can be there, and they can have conversations. And he says, you know, he's got a great relationship with Shedeur already because he's around. Deshaun Watson is not. They've spoken on the phone, but he's not there. And Dylan Gabriel, he says, I believe from what I know, he hasn't been there either. So say what you want about Shedeur Sanders and his chance to be the number one quarterback. If you're going a month into the Monken era, who's done the best to be present and in his face? It's been Shedeur.
That matters, right?
I think so. Then again, we're not even in April. I think they have a lot of needs on their roster, though. I wouldn't necessarily pencil in quarterback for them either. I think this is going to be the group, these three, and it will be a meritocracy, and the best man will win. But Shedeur Sanders doing everything he possibly can to make a name for himself.
And they're not going to go quarterback at 6, and I don't think people believe they'll go quarterback at 24. I think they'll sit out the first round for a quarterback. You mentioned Shedeur Sanders being in the building. Deshaun Watson's been around. Dylan Gabriel has not been around. And again, it's the end of March. We'll see how that works out, but there may be a little message in that Dylan Gabriel is not there. We'll see whether that means anything or not.
Man, that's going to be really interesting to keep an eye on here as it continues to develop. We got a lot more quarterback news around the league. Let's stay in the AFC North. Adam, what is the latest on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, or his decision? I should say it that way instead.
Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers have been in regular contact here. Clearly, there are conversations that are occurring between the Steelers free agent quarterback and the current Steelers head coach, who the two men have worked together in Green Bay before, and there's a real possibility they'll work together now. We're still waiting for a decision from Aaron Rodgers, but it certainly seems like he is open to the idea and entertaining the idea of returning to Pittsburgh for this upcoming season. Meanwhile, we knew that Geno Smith's back with the New York Jets. We talked about him being written off, bouncing back. He's their guy. They're counting on him making a mark this season. Aaron Glenn talking up Geno Smith at breakfast this morning at the AFC Coaches Breakfast. They had big plans for Geno Smith this season, and they're hoping that he can help this franchise turn around things in New York. As for Anthony Richardson, we know that his future in Indianapolis is murky, but there are no assurances that the Colts general manager may be able to trade him. It's been quiet so far. Yeah. There's not been a lot of interest in Anthony Richardson. We'll see whether or not that changes at the draft, but if you're not getting back anything more than a pick flip, you might just be better off holding on to the former 4th overall pick and keeping him around your roster. They're not just going to give him away. They haven't found any offers that are worthwhile, and so for the time being, Anthony Richardson remains on the roster, and the Colts still can see a scenario in which he is on their roster.
I mean, I get it, right? He didn't show us anywhere near what they had expected, but he's also still a young player in his career. Like, maybe there's more there. There was something that they liked, and you saw flashes
currency,
of
Laura.
Bingo.
You don't just give away currency.
He's got potential, people. Okay, hold on to him maybe and see what happens. We got more coming your way here.